So in this video, I want to just go through some hints and a how-to for the Beers Law simulation. So you'll see I have a dual screen up right now just so that I can show you the handout and the simulation itself. So when you open the handout from Google Classroom, you'll see this Google Doc. If it does not automatically create a copy for you, you want to make sure to go to File, Make a Copy, because that is what you will then attach to Google Classroom, and that's what I will grade. So in this simulation assignment, you want to start by reading the background information. It's going to talk about light and how substances absorb light. It's going to give you some colors of solutions. And then this is the most important. You have this color wheel, and it talks about the color wheel and how color of light is associated with this color wheel. So you want to make sure that you read through all of this background information. It gives you some information as to how a spectrophotometer or how a colorimeter works, and that's what we're going to be using in this simulation. And it talks about absorbance versus transmittance. So again, make sure you read through all of this background information. And then especially on the second page, it talks about using the proper wavelength. So we've seen some questions like this on the AP exam where they're asking about how do we know what wavelength to use. So make sure that you read through this as well. And then you have Beers Law at the bottom of the second page. So again, read through all of this. If you need to read through a couple times, you can. If it helps to print it out so you can highlight, do that. But this provides a lot of information that you will need not only for the simulation and for these questions, but for the AP exam as well. So you'll continue to read through, gives some practical uses for Beers Law, how we'll use it in class, and then some possible sources of error. So you might need this in the critical thinking questions at the end. Then you have the purpose and the pre-lab questions. So you'll notice in the pre-lab questions, read all of the background information. So make sure you read that, you answer the question. So just type in here, please use a different font style, or you can highlight something so that I can tell your font from the font in the simulation assignment. So then we get to the procedure. So this is why I think this video is going to be useful. So in this procedure, you're going to go to this link. So you can go to this link by clicking it in Google Classroom, or you can just click on the link right in the Google Doc, and it will bring you to a page that actually looks like this. So what you're going to do is you're going to click on the play button, allow it to load. It might take just a little bit to load. And when it brings up the Beers Law lab, you have two options. You want to make sure to click Beers Law, and it's going to pull up the simulation. Now, based on your last name, you are assigned a different chemical. So you'll pick the chemical that's based on your last name. So I would pick nickel 2 chloride. So where it says solution, I'm going to click on the arrow, and for me, I'll do nickel 2 chloride. So notice how this is green. Every solution here has a different color, but notice how they all have color. That's important. So then it just says to play with the simulation so that you understand how everything works. So I'm going to click on the button to start the simulation. You're going to notice that there's a certain color that's shining through. That's in the background information. And then we have this meter here that is transmittance and absorbance. So we are going to be reading absorbance. You'll notice I can move this meter back and forth. I want to keep the meter in the same place. So if you realize that you need to restart, right, you were playing around, you're moving the ruler, looking at path length, right, you're adjusting the size of the cuvette, right, and you're noticing how absorbance changes. But if you want to reset, you can just click this orange button that resets it. So I'm going to go back to nickel 2 chloride. I'm going to turn on the light, and I'm going to make sure to go to absorbance. So then the procedure says to change the concentration to a low concentration and record the absorbance. So I'm going to go down. I'm not going to go all the way down to 0. If you want to go down to 0, you can. But I'm going to start with, let's say 10. And you're going to notice here that the solution concentration is given in millimolar. So some of the solutions are given in millimolar, but if you look at other ones, they're given in micromolar. So make sure that you're paying attention to your units. And so I'm going to start down at 10, and I'm going to read the absorbance. Now, number 4 says to slowly increase the concentration and record the absorbance, and you need at least 12 data points. So I'm going to go into my data table. Now I'm going to change my concentration. Mine is not micromolar, mine is millimolar. So that's going to be important that you're paying attention to your units. So if mine is 10 millimolar, the absorbance is 0.05. Absorbance does not have unit. So I'm going to slowly change my concentration, and it doesn't need to be in the same increment. I'll do 32, and I'm going to record the absorbance. Now you're going to do this for 12 data points. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to do this for 12 data points. I'm going to fill in my data table. So what I did is I recorded 12 data points, and I do want to make note of what happens as the concentration increases. My solution gets darker and darker. So again, mine was in millimolar. If you're using one of the solutions that is micromolar, then you'll keep the micromolar in the data table. So I want to make sure that in my data table, I also am typing in that I have nickel to chloride, which is NiCl2. So just making sure that I record my assigned solution. So I've gone through and I've recorded everything in the data table. Then it says open a Google Sheet, record your data from the data table into a Google Sheet. And then in the Google Sheet, you're going to plot your data and you're going to create a graph. So I gave a short how to create a graph in these steps. But if you remember when we created graphs before, I have this how to create a graph in Google Sheets, Google Doc that I have linked, so you can use that as well. Now you have two options. You can use either the millimolar or micromolar concentration in Google Sheets, or you can convert all of them to molarity in your graph. It's up to you on which one you pick, but if you need help with creating a graph in Google Sheets, then go ahead and watch the how-to video for